What's going on, everybody? Welcome to West Nail Virus. We are your hosts, Caleb Nail, and my good friend, family. He's pretty much my brother, brother from another mother. Actually, we've never DNA tested it. Josiah West. What's going on, Josiah?
That's true. What's up? How are you doing?
Good, good. All right, everybody. This is
ready to record.
I've been ready to record for so long now. This is I got to put this in a certain way. West Nile Virus is not a new show,
No,
but it is a new show.
Yes,
okay. It's a new show, but it's not a new show. Okay, this is your sports show. We enjoy sports. It's a virus. We caught the virus a long time ago, and we're spreading that virus of sports around the country, starting in our local towns. So share. You got to spread the virus. So tell people about it. You can follow us on X at Caleb_Nail, and you got to go on YouTube to see where the way that's spelled. It's Caleb with a C, and Nail is not spelled N-A-I-L, and Josiah_WNV on X. Interact with us there, share the video, and if you're on YouTube, comment, please. That's the best way to do it. Subscribe, hit the notification bell when a video comes out, and comment. That's what helps us the most. Comment, and share. All right. Today, Josiah, we're going to be talking about a lot of things because people don't care what we've done. They don't care about us. They want to talk sports. We're going to talk sports. NBA playoffs, NBA MVP conversation. Then we're going to get into some college football. Just FYI for everyone out there, the two of us, college football guys, big time. So we're going to talk mostly college football. And I'm a big basketball guy. So, and when I say basketball, college basketball, NBA, it's okay. Playoffs time is okay. We're going to talk about college football rule changes, Reggie Bush Heisman, which I noticed that I have spelled wrong as Reggie Bush. Then we're going to talk Colorado and Deion Sanders because there's a lot of stuff going on over there, and I'm sure you've heard it before, but we got to talk about it. And then the NFL draft is today. So we got to talk first round NFL draft. We will do that. All right, Josiah. First, let's get the NBA stuff out of the way, but I think some people are going to find it interesting. The NBA playoffs are going on right now, and the Heat just beat the Celtics. The Heat hit like 23 threes, I believe. They went nuts, beat the Celtics. My brother put money on the Celtics to cover. Poor guy. That didn't happen. They got. I could have shot how the Heat shot against the Celtics. Their defensive plan was absolutely terrible. Leave everyone wide open and let them shoot. Did not work out for them. It was a joke. But what I do want to talk about,
actually,
yeah, two things I want to talk about. There's two series I want to talk about currently, and we'll continue keeping up with it as of right now. By the way, everyone, we're going once a week. So when that happens, we'll talk about what's relevant. But there's two series I want to talk about. Yesterday, Mavs Clippers. Okay, Mavs won game 2 and tied it up. And this kind of going to lead me into the NBA MVP conversation. Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving played well offensively. Clippers got Kawhi back from an injury. He was off. Slow. Everything was off. Clippers looked bad, I would say, offensively. Defensively, not sure. You can only do so much against Doncic and Kyrie. But what I wanted to bring up, Josiah, is I watched this game, most of this game.
Yep.
And I was irritated most of this game because one, I'm going to hit both sides. Don't worry. One, yep. I don't like the brand of basketball that James Harden plays. I just can't stand it. Two,
yep.
I don't like the brand of basketball Luka Doncic plays. I dislike his brand of basketball more so than James Harden. I can't believe I'm saying that because people are not going to like that. He's all offense, no hustle, no defense, does not go and fight for rebounds. I can't stand it, Josiah. I can't stand it. And I don't think Luka Doncic will win an NBA championship playing the style of basketball he does now. I don't know. What were your thoughts?
Well, I didn't get to catch most of that game. I saw a little bit of it, but mostly I just watched the highlights. But what I've heard from other people is that Doncic in game 2 was actually playing really, really good defense on Kawhi, on Paul George. He was playing really good defense according to everyone that I talked to. As I said, all I got to see was the highlights, which is just the times when defense breaks down. But
okay,
outside of that, I heard it was very defensive game.
I'll give Luka this. It was better than usual. I'll give him that.
Okay.
But it's still bad. Look, if someone plays terrible defense for their entire life and they hustle just a little bit more, but they don't hustle as much as everybody else on the team, is that hustle? Even if it's hustle to them. I don't think so.
Fair.
I don't think so. Now, he's unstoppable offensively, but I can't do it. Also, there was a sequence. If you pull up NBA's YouTube and go look at the highlights, there's a sequence that is absolutely hilarious. James Harden,
oh my gosh,
dribbling, little push off. It's his move. Little push off, pull up. Guy, they called a foul because they didn't. I'm sure it was you didn't give him enough room to land. Didn't really touch him. Didn't touch him at all.
Touched him a little bit on the way down. It looked like James Harden leaned into him, but
yeah, I would argue James Harden caused the contact. Then Kyrie goes down, gets absolutely mugged. No call.
No call. Well,
made it. No call.
I mean, hey, you say the world's flat one time, they're not going to give you anything. It's just not going to work out for you anymore in the league. I mean, they don't like their controversial players.
No. You have to be controversial in a certain way, their way. Otherwise,
in their way. Yeah, you have to say some curse words here and there. Be brash, be loud, but don't say anything against the grain. Just say angry things.
Yeah, just be a part of this echo chamber that is the media and things like that. Stay in that lane.
Sorry, we have been a little annoyed with the NBA the past few years. I think everyone has, and yeah, I think I say past few years. It's been like 10 years, really. It's been getting real bad, but like the past few years has been especially bad. I don't know if everyone's noticed or not, but if you remember 2020, there's like a big thing that happened, and then it feels like everything changed after that. So I don't know. That's my opinion on the matter, but
look, sports is not doing well right now. I think the people are using their mouse and their fingers to move away from the mainstream media of sports, and they want something that is real. They want people to be honest and true. They don't want people kissing up to their bosses. And I think that's what's nice about podcasts like this. We can go out and say things, and no one's telling us what to say. Where NBA players being told what to say, and that bothers people. And it's not just the NBA. It's a lot of sports.
Yeah, I mean, Marshawn Lynch, even that was years ago. I'm just here so I don't get fined. Like, if he didn't show up to one press conference, he was going to get fined thousands of dollars. He didn't want that, so he showed up and said the same thing over and over again.
Oh my gosh. And how about this? Sorry to get a little political here. Even in our government, it's happening right now. There's a video going around because they just passed another bill to send Ukraine even more money. And they're all waving the Ukrainian flag in Congress. And the Speaker of the House, who is a Republican, told the guy that put up the video, who's a congressman, if you don't take it down, I'm fining you. Talk about, I thought there was something known as free speech in this country. I guess it doesn't exist anymore.
That's crazy. I hadn't even heard that. That's insane.
Yeah, allegedly, that's what was said. Anyways, okay.
Yeah, well, don't say that or you're going to get fined.
Yeah. Luckily, they're not my boss right now. I just wanted to get my point across is that I don't think Luka will win an NBA Finals championship with the way that he's playing now. Shoot, last year Kyrie was on his team. They didn't even make the playoffs. This year, the Clippers are by far the better roster.
Right.
We'll see if they can finish. I think they need to rest Kawhi a little more. Go back to James Harden just dominating. And Paul George was off. But anyways, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to ask, well, I mean, which player on each team do you think is more likely to get elected to Congress? Because we were talking about Congress. I was just trying to tie it in somehow. Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. It's a good point. He's an LA player.
Yeah, he's the most famous athlete on
no way. Yeah, no, I mean, there's no way they have more than one basketball team in LA, right? So he's probably on the Clippers.
They play in the same place. It's I get what you're saying, but it's LeBron. The answer is LeBron. I don't care what team you're talking about. It's LeBron. It's just like when you go to Bible study, the answer is God, Jesus, and the Bible. That's and we talk about basketball. It's LeBron. That's it. All right. Last thing on NBA, I want to talk about the NBA MVP conversation. So they released the candidates for MVP, and those candidates are Jokic, Doncic, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for OKC. And they're all great. And I think they're all very deserving. Jokic is a magician. He's insane. He looks like he's moving like a slug down the court, and he still ends up with 30, 10, and 8, 30, 11, and 10. It's insane. And they're playing against the Lakers right now.
Watching Jokic play is I mean, it's like watching some, freak character that somebody made on a video game, and he's just moving like so weird. It doesn't look like anyone else on the court, and yet it does like anything you want it to. I mean, literally jacks up a three. I mean, you see memes all the time. It's like he does something. It'll be someone doing something really stupid, and then just back up, just chuck up a three like that, and then goes right in. And it's Jokic. He does whatever he wants, and it works.
He hates playing basketball and loves racing horses, and yet still beats everyone. That's what he does. Luka, like I said, I mean, I should have pulled up his stats, but he's averaging like 33 points a game, 9 rebounds, 9 assists a game. Well, very few people have ever done that. So numbers wise, Luka's very deserving of MVP. Shai Gilgeous, SGA. OKC's been terrible forever. He made OKC ever since the KD left and Westbrook and those guys left. They haven't been good. They've been terrible. He made them relevant again. He brought them back. Now, he has help. And so I think it's going to be really hard. There's been arguing all over media. I'm just going to add another. I'm just going to start poking the bear. That's what I'm going to do. Josiah, do you know who had the best record in basketball this year? What team?
Someone who doesn't pay a lot of attention to the NBA. I'm going to go with the Warriors.
No, you're way off. You don't pay attention at all. That's fine. The Boston Celtics.
Celtics. That makes sense.
Yeah, the Warriors didn't have the best record in the West.
That's all right.
I'm not asking you any more questions. You have a lot of catching up to do. Stick to college football.
About 6 years of catching up to do.
The Celtics, you probably know where I'm going with this already, if you're listening. What is the MVP supposed to be? Josiah, you can't answer this. Most people can answer this. What is MVP supposed to be? the player with the best numbers, or should it be the best player on the best team? So, like, I would say this. Let's say, like, SGA, for example, or Luka. Actually, Luka is probably a better example. Not very many outstanding players on the Mavericks. Luka carried that team. Would you consider him the MVP because he carried them to the playoffs? I mean, look, there's other guys. I get it. I'm not trying to fight there. But, or are you giving it to the best player on the best team in the league, which in my opinion would be Jason Tatum?
In my opinion, MVP should go to the guy who made the biggest difference for his team. That's what I've always thought. It shouldn't matter if he's on the best team, he's on the worst team. They could miss the playoffs. And if he, scored 95% of their points and, they just missed the playoffs, like, yeah, give it to that guy. But
he's the most valuable player.
Yeah, exactly. He's the most valuable player. He meant more to his team than anyone else did individually to their team. So that's what I think it should be. In which case, probably it would go to Doncic. But I could also see, arguments for the other guys. But
yeah, I agree. I just think there needs to be I think it's wild to me that the best player on the best team isn't always in the conversation. I think it should be. But that just tells you about the Celtics now. The Celtics like poop the bed tonight, but they've been a great team for most of the season. So,
well, that's my thing about the Celtics. Watching them the past few years, the impression I've got has just been they play good team basketball. I mean, they haven't. It doesn't look like Jason Tatum carries them every single game. It doesn't look like anybody else carries them every single game for that matter. I mean, they work together, they make good passes, they play heads up, smart basketball. And I mean, I get that's the best way to play basketball realistically, but I think that way you're probably not going to get a lot of MVPs.
Correct. And they haven't. So at the same time, they haven't always had the best record in the league. I mean, in the East they have, but I don't know. It'll be interesting. I do think Luka's going to win it, just like you said,
right?
Because he's been so good offensively and numbers wise. He's crushing the competition now.
Right.
Jokic has played and started the most games. He played and started in 79 of 82 games. That's got to speak for something. I think the other guys were around like 71, around 70-ish.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So let us know down below who you think should be MVP and what MVP means to you. And then tell Josiah the best way to get where to get his NBA information, please.
Yes. And please tell me what teams are good.
Not the Warriors. They're not even in it. Done.
What? Steph isn't? He's not top of the league anymore. He's not just carrying.
He's still the best shooter around. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
one of your MVPs.
He's never going to not be the best shooter around, but be hard to beat.
All right.
Steph.
All right. I'm going to help you out, Josiah. We're going to get into some college football right now. Okay.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So you guys know, because we're a little bit late, so you guys already know this, but college football has changed some rules. They've added the 2-minute warning in the second quarter and fourth quarter.
I hate it.
And they are bringing helmet comms into the game, which I want to start there, Josiah. Give me your initial reaction to helmet comms being in the game.
Now, see, this is a weird thing for me because I remember hearing about this. I formulated an opinion on it, but I can't remember what my opinion was. And so hearing this basically again for the first time.
Well, reformulate.
Yeah. Hearing this again for what is essentially the first time. I mean, I don't know. That's such a weird, like, there was a while where I kind of figured you already could do that. But, honestly, I don't like it. I would have preferred they left it out. And this is going to sound completely just stupid. But
well, it wouldn't be the first time on this episode. So
no, that's very true. Probably won't be the last. I honestly, I don't want them to take it to put it in because I don't want to lose the coaches doing all kinds of crazy hand motions over on the sideline in the middle of the game. I love that. I really do. Billboards, I love them. I don't want helmet communications because there's nothing funnier to me than just watching some 80-year-old guy going, whatever, just doing something crazy and stupid over on the sideline. I love it. I don't know. And I do think it adds something to the game. I guess in a way you could make the argument like the whole Michigan, stealing signs thing, that wouldn't even be a problem if we had helmet communications because there would be no signs. But on the other hand, like, why don't we just say you can steal signs or, just come down really hard on it? I don't know. But say you can steal signs, doesn't matter. Freaking keep the signs and steal them. I don't know. Everyone does.
Oh, dude, come on. They had something out for Harbaugh. That's the reality of it. They tried to get him for a hamburger. They're getting him, they dislike him, and they got what they wanted.
As someone who's not a big fan of Michigan or Harbaugh for that matter, they kind of did both Michigan and Harbaugh dirty. There was some of that stuff that admittedly, the fact that they were like, you're cheating. And then just basically, they didn't really do anything about the national championship and all that stuff. It was very weird. I thought the whole thing was just really odd, but yeah, they pushed some stuff that just didn't matter. The hamburger thing, that was so stupid. Like, I couldn't believe that was even a story. And if you don't know, basically he bought a hamburger for a recruit on a visit. I think he went to the guy's town or something like that and met him for lunch and paid for lunch or something like that. It basically paid for lunch for a recruit. One lunch, hamburger for one recruit. And they tried to like fine him thousands of dollars, or they did, or something. I don't remember exactly.
He had to sit out games.
Yeah, he had to sit out games because he's bought one dude a hamburger on a visit, which would honestly, I would think that would be allowed. Like, you can't go give them a handful of money, but you're meeting them for lunch. It's kind of like you're trying to.
Hey, Josiah, have you just got off a long flight and we toured the campus. Did you eat breakfast? No? Oh, would you like a hamburger? Yes.
Oh, I'd love one.
Sorry, can't have one. Too bad.
Can't have one. Can't. If I give you a hamburger, guess what? I won't be able to coach.
So
stupid.
So back to helmet comms. I'm with you, Josiah. I don't think there should be helmet comms. I think this is what makes college football fun and different. I want to keep things different. Now, what we're doing is we're moving to a giant super league, which is going to be the minor league NFL. It's going to be exactly the same as the NFL, just minor leagues. That's what it's going to be. And that's going to be SEC, Big 10, Big 12, those certain schools, which, you know what? They can do their thing because my school, which you can see in the background, Fresno State, we're going to get left out. And so then we're just going to have a group of 5 championship and we can do our own thing. And hopefully, we do something that fans can get behind. But fans are going to watch no matter what, if there's helmet comms or not. I agree with you. I want to see the signs, and they need to either allow sign stealing, and you just need to do a better job of hiding it, or 2, come down really hard on sign stealing so that no one even thinks about sign stealing.
No one thinks about it.
Here's what helmet comms is going to do to the game. Okay, and it's not a bad thing, but you are going to start to see the difference in offensive coaches. It's going to separate the good from the bad offensive coaches and the good from the bad communicators of football, because they're going to be talking all while he's set on the line. And if a coach can see what's going on and get that across to the quarterback, the good communicators and college football offensive minds are going to thrive with helmet comms. and the quarterbacks that can understand that. So I honestly think it's going to be harder now for defenses because the coach is going to be able to tell the quarterback what's going on up until the snap. So I do think that's fun in a way. We're going to see the offensive coordinators or whoever's got the mic to the quarterback. Really, there's going to be a huge separation, and we're going to see that, and it's going to be fun, in my opinion. But what's more fun is signs. And you thought the game was fast. It's going to get super fast. But also, I don't know how fast, because if you want to go fast, you still have to do signs. It actually, yeah. So, anyways, go ahead.
Well, see, the other thing is they're trying to slow down the game, or not slow down the game, but they're trying to they're trying to speed up the game, but add in more like stops, which is what this 2-minute warning is. I mean, everyone's talking about it. It's just ads. It's just ads. You know, they just want more ads. They want more money, and that's the whole thing. And we don't want there to be more stops in the game. You're already making fistfuls of money off of us. Like, we're watching the league, and you guys are making millions of dollars.
Okay,
and
Josiah,
we are completely fine with that. So chill.
Will you turn off the game at the 2-minute warning of the second quarter and fourth quarter?
I will probably not watch. I will probably watch only highlights other than Georgia. That's probably what I'll do. I'll watch games on YouTube, and I'll just watch Georgia. I'm not going to support their crap. Now, I say that maybe I'll have to for a show, but
well, and my point is that I don't think the 2-minute warning is going to scare away anyone. They're going to watch regardless of if there's helmet comms, if there's a 2-minute warning. People are going to watch. So there's
it's something. It's just it sucks to see, specifically with college football, so much change in the game, because that was so much of the draw of college football. It was sort of a relic of the past. You know, there's a lot of there's tradition. You know, I mean, why do we like college football? Why does anybody who likes college football like college football? Nostalgia, because you grew up watching it, because you grew up supporting this team. This is your hometown team. You know, you went to games with your dad or your grandpa, whoever. And like that, you love having that experience, and there's nothing like it. And the farther and farther you get away from that, it sucks. On the other hand, I mean, there's positives and negatives to everything. As we lose these traditions and these ways that we've known the game for so long, we will miss them. And if I had my pick, I wouldn't want to move into a new era of college football. I want to keep it the same. But we are, and there will be positives, and it'll still be fun to watch. It'll still be, there will be positives, there will be negatives, but I think it'll be maybe more fast paced. Maybe that'll be easier to watch. Maybe what they're trying to do. They say they're trying to shorten games. If they actually shorten games, then
well, it's gonna be less plays. They're trying to get less plays in.
Yeah, then that doesn't make any sense. But I don't know. It's new. It's new. Stuff's changing a lot. I for one am certainly no future seer. I don't know exactly how things are going to turn out, but I think it sucks. I'm not happy about it. I think it will be less fun to watch overall, but I do think if you like the NFL, it'll be way easier to watch college football. And on top of that, I think this version of college football will probably prepare players for the league more fully. I think we'll have a lot more ability to be like, oh, he's good in college football, he's going to be pretty good in the NFL. I mean, obviously that still won't always equate, but I think that these changes that are happening will, you make the the one league more like the league they're going to, they'll be more used to it and they'll translate better, right? I mean, I think that's kind of what's coming. So,
and I don't disagree. Speaking of nostalgia, you brought up nostalgia. Reggie Bush got his Heisman back today.
Oh yeah,
woo! Finally,
Reggie.
That's one good thing that's come out of college football over the past couple months.
Yes.
I feel like it's been a lot of negatives. There's one positive.
Yes.
How can you? Everybody was getting paid. Everybody. Look, if Cam Newton got to keep all his stuff, Reggie Bush should be able to keep all his stuff. Yeah. If Johnny Manziel is able to keep all his stuff, Reggie Bush should be able to keep all his stuff. And I don't know if you saw, Johnny Manziel was a huge advocate over the past couple months to get Reggie Bush's Heisman back. And look, if O.J. Simpson was able to keep his Heisman, Reggie Bush should be able to keep his Heisman.
Reggie deserved the Heisman, dude. That was crazy that it was ever vacated. But on the one hand, that is, like, once again, positives and negatives, right? I mean, stuff's changing. The NIL theoretically is a good thing. I don't like the way they did it at all. I think it's going to, at some point, require change, or it's going to destroy college
football. We're going to talk about that right next. We're going to talk about that, yeah.
All right, well, there you go.
Well, okay. Well, all right, perfect. I didn't want to cut you off, but that was
no, absolutely.
So into Colorado and Deion Sanders and the Sanders family team, because we have seen over the past month a lot of players from Colorado enter the transfer portal. Over the past week, we saw their stud running back enter the transfer portal. We saw a lot of their D linemen. I think it was their 5-star D lineman enter the transfer portal. Deion got on the mic and said, look, these guys don't show up to film. There's also been reports that Deion doesn't show up to film, and that film is not, and that film, like, you have to watch film on your own. That's been reports. I don't know if that's true or not. But first off, if you're paying kids to play and they're in college, they're not showing up if you don't make it mandatory. I would not show up. I'm hanging with my buddies. Forget that. But anyways, especially if I'm a 5-star and I've been given everything, I've been the star on my team my entire life. Anyways, they did bring in a bunch of guys today. They're bringing in over the past 2 days. They're bringing in a lot of guys. So that's good. But with 2 T's, I'm thinking, Josiah, that what they brought in, did it make them better? Like, they lost 5-star studs. And now, granted, I'm a firm believer in that stars don't mean a whole lot. But once again, with 2 T's, did they bring in players that are about winning? I am really confused. I really like what Deion did for college football. I think, like, he got a lot of people into college football that would not have been into college football, and it was fun to keep up with. And I'm a Stanford fan as well, so the Stanford win over Colorado was awesome. But I also think the culture that Deion has made at Colorado is off. Something is off, Josiah. Something's off. Guys are leaving. One of the players came out and said, I don't want to play for clicks anymore. It's very much centered around his kids. I understand you're the dad. You want to get your kids somewhere else or up a level. The culture just seems kind of off. And, can I say that? Josiah, I mean, I'm not there. I don't see it, but I'm not with anybody. I don't know anybody in it. But from what I'm observing and everything I see on social media, and the fact that they are just putting themselves in front of cameras and bling, and the culture just seems off. It's not a winning culture, in my opinion. It's not a winning culture. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird, for sure. They've had, I want to say almost 18 people transfer out, but they've had a lot of people transfer in. It looks like if I go to, that's 2023. If I go to 2024, they've got...
You're covering your mouth.
They have 29 incoming transfers. Some of which they're mostly 3 stars. They've got a couple of 4 stars. And they are losing a 5-star defensive back. What's his name? Cormani McLean. He's leaving. Now, he didn't do a lot at Colorado last year, and as you said, their running back is leaving, but he announced he was leaving after they got another guy in the transfer portal, another running back. I mean, I think you're completely right, or completely within your rights to say, it seems off there. It's definitely new, right, to college football. I mean, prime time, what's he good at? Making waves. That's what he does. And he surely did. He went in, he made waves. I mean, a huge portion of like the younger audience loved him, right? I mean, I'd say he probably got a lot of very young Gen Alpha age kids into football almost. But so it could be good. It's where the world's going. It's where football needs to go. But there's definitely something weird, and that big of a change from what is the norm in college football. You need to also change some other things. Like, you can't just say, oh, we're going to make it playing for clicks, but we're not going to change our culture in other ways so that the playing for clicks isn't the only thing. And there's people saying, I don't want to play for clicks. Yeah, exactly. Because it feels like all you're doing is playing for clicks. If you go out there and you say, look, what we're playing for first is wins, but we're going to be flashy and we're going to get clicks while we're doing it, then nobody's going to be upset about it, right? I mean, sure, it's not everybody's, cup of tea, but what you have to do is say, first thing we're doing is winning. Always the first thing is winning. I don't care about image. I don't care about anything as long as we're winning. Once we're winning, then we make waves.
What comes along with winning? Clicks, fame, money.
Exactly. That's true.
So I agree with you. Win first.
Yeah.
Why is Nick Saban didn't allow cameras in practice? He got on his players. He ran it like he was a drill sergeant. They won. His players are making millions and millions of dollars. Nick Saban is regarded as one of the best coaches of all time. He gets clicks. His players get clicks.
And not just that. I mean, look at how many players he put in the NFL, dude.
That's what I'm saying. They made a bunch of money.
Yeah, they made tons of money. Tons of money. And there's some of his players from college are commentators now, and they have nothing but good things to say about Saban. And his proteges, that being Kirby Smart, Dan Lanning, Lane Kiffin, there's a bunch of other ones. I can't think of the other names, but dude, they're the best coaches in college football right now. They're the best coaches in college football. And he did stuff the opposite way of Deion Sanders. And I'm not saying that Deion Sanders' way cannot work. It can, but he has to make some key changes or else it won't. And I
agree.
Yeah, Saban quit for a reason.
Here's what I think. It's kind of the prime effect seems very materialistic, short term. Like, I'm going to do as much as I can for my boys. And I'm not saying this is wrong, because in that situation, I might do the same thing for my boys.
Right.
I'm going to try and get the best players in to help my boys succeed so that they get to the next level. And then once they're there, it's over. By the way, like, his sons are good football players, but It just, something's a little off. You need to win first. It is hard to build a program because by clicks and social media, because people read through the lines there. They read behind the lines on social media and those things. And they don't want to do that. Social media is fake. It's literally fake, everybody. Social media is not a real world.
The other thing about social media is anybody can say anything. I mean, it doesn't matter what you're putting out there. There's a million people who can, say, I don't think that's true. And, if a million people say that and you say it is, well, there's a million people saying it's not. It's not a great look for you,
even if it is true.
Essentially what I'm saying is, social media is like what you said, it's not real. So if you can back it up with real stuff, if you can get on there and say, yeah, I'm the best, and then say, see, I went 13-0.
Right.
Then it's like, oh, okay, well, I don't like you, but you are right. You're the best. You didn't lose. So, I mean, I don't know. You got to back it up. It's the same thing with OBJ. If you remember OBJ, everyone hated him because he was so loud. Or I shouldn't say everyone hated him. A lot of people loved him. But it was pretty 50-50. Like you either hated him or you loved him because he was super loud. He was cocky. He was flashy because he could back it up on the field. And he was like this amazing player. I remember having this conversation with multiple people. He was a really good wide receiver. And then he stopped performing. He stopped talking because there was nothing to back it up with. And, or at least he stopped getting attention if he was talking. It wasn't on my radar. So
right. Well, he's been injured for a while.
Yeah, I mean he's got injured a lot, but he hasn't done as well for the past few years, and he hasn't talked as much. It's been
right. I want to talk about this though.
You can back it up, talk all you want.
That's true. We're talking about the transfer portal, backing things up. And I think it's only right that if we bring up Colorado football and the transfer portal and culture and things like that, I think you have to bring up Duke basketball. Okay. And I don't hear many people talking about this, bringing this up. Okay. But I think there's different reasons. I'm going to get to it in a second. So Duke has lost a lot of players to the transfer portal.
Mm-hmm.
And some could say, well, Coach Shire is the reason why. New Coach K is not there, that something's off. And they had good players into the transfer portal. But in my opinion, it's because they're bringing in players. They have the number one recruiting class right now. And these young kids, these young freshmen are going to play. I would tell Coach Shire, be careful. We see how that worked out for Coach Cal at Kentucky with trying to get the young kids, because what Duke and Coach K were known for were getting those good 5-star kids that would stick around a couple years, have experience, and they would be successful that way. Now you're losing that experience. Yeah, Cooper Flagg's coming in, the number one recruit in the country. And he's going to be he's an NBA player. But you have to be, like, what's your job? Just like Josiah, just like you said, Josiah, it's to win. And are they going to stick around to help you win? I don't know. We've seen it done with Coach Calipari, and now we're seeing it with Hurley at UConn. They have experienced players, leaders that are just physical beasts, and they're dominating. And so that's why I think that they're different. Colorado and Duke are different, but I think I like using both of them because you see the difference, but also it's the transfer portal working in different ways. And I don't think either are good, right? One team is playing for clicks.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
The other team's just trying to get really good players, and I don't think it's going to work out for them either. But it's basketball. Go ahead.
It is basketball. It's a little different, but correct me if I'm wrong. Coach K retired last year, right?
Like 2 years ago.
Or 2 years ago? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I was looking. His last season was 2022. They won the regular season, but they didn't win the tournament. Amazing coach, obviously. But that's the thing is, when you look at Kentucky basketball, I'm pretty sure they either are or probably are losing a bunch of guys in the transfer portal because their coach left. And on one hand, I get that. That makes sense to me because college basketball, I feel like it is the coach. That's why you go somewhere. You're going there because the coach, because it's the same guys that win it every year, or not every year, obviously, but most years it's one of the same few guys, right? Because they know what they're doing. They know how to put guys in the NBA. They know how to train basketball players, because it's so much different than football where you've got 170 people on a team. You've got, I don't know how many are actually on the roster at a college basketball team.
50, but college basketball. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I don't know how many are actually on the roster at a college basketball team, but I can't imagine it's more than like 20 or 30.
Oh, less than that. I'd say 15 players.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, exactly. Like that means you're working with one of the most legendary coaches of all time, every day, all, one-on-one, essentially. I mean, it's not one-on-one, but it's going to feel a whole lot more like one-on-one than if you go to UGA, your time with Kirby Smart, like there's 150 other guys here. And so I get that. I get the Kentucky thing, and I think it's fair. I think it's absolutely fair for us to say, if your coach leaves, you can transfer because that's why you came here. But I'm not sure about, I mean, I'm with you. I do not love the transfer portal as just a way of building a team. And I don't think it's the best idea because, I mean, hey, look at the Celtics. What works so well for the best team in the NBA right now? It's not just superstar players. It's a bunch of guys who know how to work together. Chemistry on a team is so much more important than a lot of people think it is. And I think, and I can't act like, I know better than Coach Shire, because I don't. I don't know how to play basketball as well as he does. I don't know how to coach basketball as well as he does. I don't know how to work that world like he does. But what I do know is I can see the teams that win and the teams that don't. And why do you think all these super teams they put together in the NBA these past like 10 years, 95% of them just fall apart? They don't do anything. I mean, how many times has KD gone to a new squad, a new supposed super team, and nothing freaking happened? He did super well on the Warriors because they all played the same brand of basketball and they worked well together. They just chucked up threes all the time and nobody missed. Like, that was the thing they did. That was all they did, and they won. But yeah.
No, I agree. And I mean, you're talking NBA, but it's the same with college.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And that's why, and Kentucky, that's why I brought up Kentucky, is Kentucky went young all the time, young 5-star guys, the best in the country. They only won once, and that was with Anthony Davis and a couple other guys, I believe. Maybe Cal won twice, but the one I remember is, Anthony Davis or Cat or somebody like that. I think it was Anthony Davis's year. But anyways, it doesn't work often. You need experienced guys that play together. So anyways, if you're a Duke basketball fan, I would honestly start to worry a little bit as they start moving towards younger 5-star players that just keep rotating in. All right, Caleb, Josiah, I want to run back to college football really quick. And I want to ask you, this may be personal because you're a Georgia Bulldog fan. I want to ask you about Florida State. Okay. Florida State released their ring that they got. There's, 13-0 on this ring. And we know that they lost to Georgia. And there were a lot of haters on social media just blasting them because they got destroyed 63-3.
Yeah, that was not a good game
in the Orange Bowl to Georgia. Now, I mean, I'll save mine, but I want to hear. I have an opinion on this, but I want to hear yours. What do you think about this ring? Do you think it's okay for them to put 13-0 on the ring.
Okay, admittedly, I think it's a little pretentious, because they're just mad that they didn't make the playoff, right? I mean, that's what it is. They're mad they didn't make the playoff. Hey, Georgia's mad they didn't make the playoff. Georgia's mad, and I know they're yeah, rightfully so. I know they're mad because they put up 63 points on Florida State. Normally, once they're 20 points up, they stop scoring. But the thing is, Florida State, I do get it because they were 13-0. They were 13-0. They won the season. They deserve to get in the playoff. And those players should 100% be absolutely proud of every single win in that 13-0 run. That was they had a perfect season, and I guess the arguments for like, oh, the leading quarterback went down, we couldn't let them in, but at the same time, that's stupid as crap. You absolutely could. But my opinion, this is my opinion on the rings. Absolutely fine. I'm fine with it. They went 13-0, and I think they should get something out of it because they didn't get a chance to the playoffs. But don't give a single ring to any of the players that opted out of the Orange Bowl. If you opted out of the Orange Bowl, you don't get a ring.
Which was basically their entire starting lineup.
Whole starting lineup. So none of you get a freaking ring. Backups, thanks for showing up. That's what I think.
You have a point. I didn't think of that. I think about that. You have a point there. Because this past year, I've been one of the old school guys. Like, look, you commit here, you commit to 13, 14, 15 games. That's what you're committing to. And if you leave on a bowl game, on an important game, that tells me a lot about you as a person. Even if you are a projected first round draft pick, which we're going to get to the draft in a second, and you're going to make millions of dollars. To me, it says something about you.
I will say this. That is the only situation in which I'm okay with opting out of a bowl game, is if it's a bowl game that doesn't matter and you're
also, does this bowl game matter?
Higher round pick. I think bowl games do matter. I think they should matter more than they do. But I think if it's like, oh, Alabama's playing, San Diego State, I'm fine with Alabama players opting out of that. And San Diego State players, actually. I perfectly understand the whole team opting out of that, to be honest. But, I don't know. That's the only situation where I'm okay with it. But I think most of the time, I don't like it. And even with that, I
lost Josiah. Now out in the backwoods.
I like it. I like the player who opt out.
Okay, I got you. You're good. You're good. We're back. You're out in the back. I told everyone you're in the back. You're good.
Yeah. No, I was just saying I don't love it when people opt out. I don't know why you wouldn't want to play one last game with your guys. Like those are your homies. Those are your buddies, your brothers, your friends.
Yeah.
And hey, you've seen the interview with that guy, and it's a little different for him because he knew he wasn't going to the NBA. He knew he wasn't going to the NBA, or probably not. And it was his last game in college basketball. He gets up there. They asked him, hey, what's your best memory? And he couldn't even talk. He started crying. He eventually got out. He's like, dinners with the team. And I was like, yeah, dude, that was heartbreaking to watch. Cause like that guy, he loved every second. He loved every second of his college basketball journey. And he's going to miss it big time.
Sports before, if you played sports, and this is why I think it's so important for kids for parents to make their kids play sports. You get an experience with other men or future men, hopefully future men. Some do not grow into men, but you like your peers, you get experiences that you won't get anywhere else. It's awesome. So yeah, and if somebody leaves because they want money, guys, let me tell you, money will not bring you happiness. I'm telling, it will make things easier, but it's not going to bring you happiness.
No.
And even then,
it's relationships and moments in relationships and memories. And in the end, that's all you get to keep. Nothing else.
Yep. I agree. All right. Before we get to the NFL draft, we're going to run through the first round. I got to bring up golf because I'm really disappointed in the golf viewers. Golf viewership is way down. And there are some factors why, and I can tell you, the Live split with PGA, and they took some viewers. Okay, fine. I watch both, by the way. And then some people say there isn't. I will talk here. I won't ask you any questions. You can input some opinions, but I won't ask you who the number one player in the world is.
Bubba Watson.
Wrong. So the fact you don't know is I am speaking to you. Okay, I'm speaking to you. You need to tune into PGA Tour golf, especially because there's a guy named Scottie Scheffler. And Scottie Scheffler is a God-fearing man. He's a God-fearing man, husband, baby is on the way. Could be here right now. He's kicking butt. You get to watch greatness. He's been winning everything. He won the Masters. He won Heritage. He's unstoppable right now. And golf viewership being down, and one reason is, I believe, is because Scottie is not this character up there. He's a 28-year-old chubby guy that looks like me and every other white dude on the golf course. Scottie's younger than me. He looks older than me. He's got facial hair, a little bit more chub than me, and he is crushing people. And he crushes the ball too. I think he's a fantastic watch. I encourage you to tune in. Like, Scottie Scheffler is greatness, and you got to tune in to watch it. And I think people are missing out. I was surprised that golf viewership for the Masters and Heritage and things like that have been way down. But also, Live is taking viewers as well. But at the same time, I think there's another thing going on, and that is people just aren't tuning into sports anymore or something turns them off to it and they tune it out. Because I'm a sports fan. I just want to watch good sports. I want to be entertained. I have started to appreciate greatness. I don't like Patrick Mahomes and the people he's around, but Patrick Mahomes is one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen, and I enjoy watching him because he's so good. It's the same with Scottie Scheffler. So I just encourage you, Josiah, to turn on Scottie Scheffler and watch him play golf, because he truly is a great in this game. NBA.
For all you golf lovers out there, I'm just going to disappoint you one more time. I've been wanting to play golf for a long time because it just sounds like it'd be fun to get into. It seems chill.
It is.
But there's a golf course. I mean, people would kill for how close this golf course is to my house. There's a golf course like literally less than a 5-minute drive away from my house. I have been there one time in my life, and it was 10 or more years ago. And I think it was with you and your dad and Cole, your brother. So I could not be better positioned to play golf, and I have not gone one time ever. I don't even have clubs, and I think about it all the time. Like, I go into thrift stores and I see like a $15 thing of clubs, and I'm like, oh, I should get some clubs. I've never done it.
You should. Never done it? Stop. Please. No more. Stop. Are you done?
I told you it would disappoint you. I'm so sorry.
Are you done? Are you done?
It's a spider.
Yeah, I told them you live in the backwoods. And his wife throws him up in the corner with all the spiders to do this. All right, Josiah, let's talk about the NFL draft. All right, I have the draft order up on YouTube. You can go follow us on YouTube, West Nile Virus. West Nale Virus. Josiah, I just want to run through the first 10 picks.
Okay. Let me put the spider back. Hold on. Oh, it dropped.
What? Okay. Why don't you smash the spider?
Oh, because he'll just be replaced by another one.
It's one less spider.
There's a window right behind. Okay, so we bought this house. It was made in 1973 by hand by some dude who was not a construction worker at all. He didn't know what he was doing. And this window right behind there are gaps, like noticeable gaps in this window. I can see plants coming through in one area that I have to fix it so bad this summer. But there are noticeable gaps, dude. I can't tell you how many bugs get in up here. Can't tell you how many spiders and bugs I see on a daily basis. Stink bugs. Oh my gosh. I will just be sitting here.
Fear. You have to have no fear.
I'll just be sitting here and a stink bug will just come flying out of nowhere, slam into my screen or like on my mouse pad all the time. Dude, it's been an interesting little while.
Oh, man. Speaking of stink bugs, Chicago Bears got the first round draft pick. And, we haven't talked in a long time about sports.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And so we got to talk about the Bears and their situation. They have 2 picks in the top 10. They have 1 and 9. Okay. They got rid of Justin Fields, which I have to say, I was not a fan. I thought Justin Fields is actually good. He's good.
Honestly, yeah, he looked good, and he hasn't been given a fair chance on the Bears, if we're being honest. I mean, it
100%.
Just hasn't been given a fair chance. And then they got rid of him, and now they're going to draft a new quarterback and not give him a fair chance, probably. Like, what do you want? The guy's done well with what you've given him.
Yeah, okay. So they're going to draft a quarterback, Josiah. Do you think that they should? Tell me this. Who's the number 1 quarterback? Who's the number 1 draft pick?
Man, look, there's too many. I don't know. It's a question for me that I don't know how to answer. I don't think it's Jaden Daniels. I don't think it's Jaden Daniels. He's good, but I don't think he's number 1.
It is Caleb Williams. It's going to be Caleb Williams.
It's going to be Caleb Williams. Realistically, yes. 100%. I can't see any other quarterback getting picked before Caleb Williams. It makes the most sense, realistically. He had the most success, probably. Like, there are definitely things, though, that I don't like about Caleb Williams, gameplay-wise.
I crack up every time people bring this up with the Chicago Bears drafting Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is a slower Justin Fields. He is Justin Fields, but slower.
That's fair.
If you're going to draft Caleb Williams, and by the way, I think Caleb Williams is a weird dude. He's just odd. And I don't think he's going to be able to command a locker room like Justin Fields would have been. You are downgrading at quarterback by drafting Caleb Williams. A guy that paints his fingernails pink and puts pink lip gloss on, that's not going to fly in the locker room. If you were in my locker room, I would eat you alive. You would, and so would all my boys. You would not survive. And you're supposed to be the leader of the team.
There is something to be said about offbeat dudes, sort of not really respect. I mean, hey, look, a good example of this is Russell Wilson, if I'm being honest. Dude's kind of weird. He doesn't really interact with people in a normal way.
That's right.
And obviously he can't really lead a team to victories. Like a good team leader is what you want at quarterback, and I don't think Russell Wilson's a great example of a good team leader. He's too just odd. He just doesn't get along with people enough. And I'm not saying that's necessarily Caleb Williams, but I do think it's possible. He's definitely pretty odd dude and offbeat for sure. Now he might be good at getting along with people, in which case it could work. But yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. There is something to be said about just the sort of weird dudes not being great leaders just because nobody really gets along with them.
Let me tell you this, and this is how I feel about NFL, and I've said this before. The O-line and D-line is where you start when you are building a good team. The reason Justin Fields wasn't successful last year is because he didn't have an O-line. He was running for his life.
Every play.
Joe Alt, I believe his name is Joe Alt. Alt is his last name. He's a lineman. Best lineman in the draft. Take him. You have pick 9. And this draft is loaded. Now, if people are going to trade up and take quarterbacks, but you have pick 9, you could still trade up with pick 9 and grab a quarterback. You could. And I think that is an option. I want the Bears to do that. Take the guy that you can't miss on. Take the O lineman or D lineman that you can't miss on. Then you can trade up or wait till 9 and draft a quarterback. Because no quarterback is going to be successful in Chicago if they don't have anyone blocking for them.
Hey, freaking trade with the Cardinals. Trade your 1 for their 4 and your 9 for their 27, and then get like 3 other picks or something like that. I don't know. No, you don't want to go back twice. What am I talking about? Trade your... I don't know. Make a trade with the Cardinals. Get the 4th pick. They'll want number 1. They want whatever quarterback they want. They can take whoever they want there. And trade back. They'll still have a 1st-round pick. You can probably get like a 2 seconds or something stupid. Trade back to the Cardinal spot. Take a good offensive tackle. And then at 9, if there's still a quarterback available that you like, take him. Or take the next tackle available. Take the next defensive end available. Take the next cornerback available.
They should package both of those picks and trade down for to the Falcons. So they're only moving up 1 pick, or the Raiders would really want the number 1 draft pick. I take that back. Don't package both of your picks. Trade the number 1 pick to the Raiders, keep your 9 pick, trade the 1 pick to the Raiders or the Vikings or something like that. And then then you can move up again with all those things that you just got, trade them and move up from 9 and go get your quarterback. That's what I would do.
Alternatively, this is going to sound a little crazy, and I don't think it would work. But go to the Bills. Go to the Bills and say, "Hey, I've got the 1 and the 9. I'll give you the 1 and the 9 for the 28 and Josh Allen."
They would never trade Josh Allen. Never.
Yeah, but I mean, people have been a little unhappy with him recently. I'm thinking maybe.
But you're saying go trade for a starting quarterback.
No, I mean, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. They could. I feel like probably, maybe somewhere. I don't know who, but somebody. Like, I don't think the hit rate on quarterbacks, especially recently, has not been great. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, I'm not saying he's bad, but he was like, everyone was saying he was the closest thing to a sure thing. Like, oh yeah, he's going to be amazing. He's going to be amazing. Look at him. He's not been amazing. I mean, he's not been bad, and I like Trevor Lawrence, but he's not been amazing.
Right.
All
right. I think Caleb Williams is the pick here. I think that's what they do. I would not do that though. Just you, Josiah.
I don't ever think a quarterback at pick 1. I don't think it's rarely ever the best option. I mean, freaking dude, think about it. Who was like the best player that you could possibly ask for ever? So amazing. QB, there's nothing that can stop him. Leader, team leader, great player, dual threat, Tim Tebow. There's no sure things. Don't take a QB at pick 1. You have pick 1. You can take anyone you want. Take a guy who you literally don't think you can miss on.
That's what I'm saying. Take a guy that you cannot miss on. And you're going to miss if you don't have people that can block for him. Doesn't matter how good they are.
Yes.
If you don't have people that can block for him, you're going to miss.
Yes. Look at Justin Fields. Look at the last quarterback you had that you took in the draft. If you don't have someone that can block, if you don't have 5 guys that can block, you have to have at least 5 that can block. He's going to die and nothing is going to happen. It doesn't matter who you draft.
Yep.
Eventually, number 2. They're going to get hurt.
Commanders. They need a quarterback as well. And they need one bad. They traded their starter, Sam Howell. So, I feel as though Caleb Williams is going to be off the board here. So then the conversation becomes, who's the number 2 quarterback off the board? By the way, they could also use a tackle. But they don't have the luxury of having another top 10 pick. They don't have another pick in the first round. They could trade back in, but it's not worth it. I would go quarterback here if I'm the Commanders. What would you do, Josiah?
I mean, I'll be honest. I don't think there's another option for them right now. I don't think they have. They just have to see who gets taken at pick 1, Caleb Williams, and then take the best or the guy that they think is the best fit for their team at quarterback.
Who is that?
Because here, man, dude, freaking their team. I mean, honestly, yeah, Jaden Daniels, go for it. I don't know if he's the best option, but like, aren't the next options Drake May and JJ McCarthy? Not very big fans of those guys.
Michael Penix Jr. and Bo Nix.
That's true. Don't want Bo Nix. Michael Penix Jr. tempted. Look, I'm not saying Bo Nix isn't going to be good, but guys, if it were me, if I was the GM, I'd just not going anywhere near the guy. He was in college way too long and had like one good season. He had like one good season.
Okay, I gotta get it. Bo Nix he might be the most successful quarterback in this draft. In the future.
Might be.
Because he's going to get drafted. He's going to get drafted by a good team. And he's going to sit behind him. They're a good quarterback. Learn a lot. It's going to be a Jordan Love situation. That's what
I mean, look, if he can go to, a team like he can go to that situation. If he can go to that situation, that would be perfect. Say the Rams take him, sits behind Matthew Stafford for a couple of years. Yes, Bo Nix has a great chance of being the most successful quarterback out of this draft. I think he'll have to learn though. Took him a while to adapt to college. It's going to take him a while to adapt to the NFL. Could he be a starter someday? Probably, but I think he has to learn first. If you're looking for a week 1 starter, like the Commanders, I don't think you want Bo Nix.
And you're going with Jaden Daniels.
Dude, I mean, I don't think there's a great option for a week 1 starter. Anytime, you rarely want to go, hey, rookie quarterback, take over this NFL team. But Jaden Daniels or Michael Penix are my two favorites for this.
Okay. I'm going to leave Michael Penix in there. Michael Penix is my favorite quarterback in this draft. I would say is the best leader. He's a good guy. His teammates love him. And I would say he's the most accurate passer. Go watch him play. He's insane. The dude puts balls in places where they just shouldn't be. And don't take that the wrong way. But he puts them in there.
Yeah.
But then I think Drake May. Drake May did probably the most with the least in North Carolina. He had good wide receivers. I think last year he lost them. He had them a couple of years ago, then he lost them. I think he did the most with the least talent. So I think Drake May has a good case, but they got to take a quarterback here. All right. Patriots. Patriots are interesting too because
people think they're going to take a quarterback.
Well, Mac Jones is not there.
No.
I think they take. I mean, if Belichick was there, they're definitely trading back, but that's not happening. They need an offensive lineman too. They traded Mac Jones. In my opinion, it's another Justin Fields situation. Mac Jones, by the way, he got more of a shot than Justin Fields at being a quarterback, but they don't have an O-line. In the top, if no one in the top 3 takes an offensive lineman, I will be shocked.
I won't be shocked. I won't be shocked. I'll be disappointed because I want to see offensive linemen taken in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots. If there's good offensive linemen available, I think that's how valuable an offensive lineman is. They're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the guys. That's where the best 5 offensive linemen should be the first ones off the board, if assuming they're good enough. But I will not be surprised when it goes exactly the way the sports bettors are predicting it. Caleb Williams 1, Jaden Daniels 2, Drake May 3, and number 4, J.J. McCarthy or Michael Penix or whoever.
Who do the bettors have?
I would not be surprised. What?
Who do the bettors have for number 4 going to the Cardinals?
Marvin Harrison.
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison Jr. J.J. McCarthy is supposed to go to the Chargers at 5. Then they think another receiver, Malik Neighbors to the Giants. Dude, if the Chargers take J.J. McCarthy at 5, they're stupid.
Well, we'll get there. I want to talk about that a little bit. But I think Patriots here need O-linemen, but they take quarterback. So then, I mean, you and I are talking, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix Jr. Sounds like those are going to be the 3 quarterbacks off the board. I think that's what they do. That's not what we would do. Arizona.
Correct.
They want to go wide receiver, Marvin Harrison. Some people I see are saying he's probably the best prospect in this draft class. He's the best football player. Yeah, he's good. But you can't stop anyone. I think Cardinals should go defense, but they have the 4th pick and all these great offensive players. You can't pass Marvin Harrison Jr. You can't pass him up.
Right.
Yeah. So I do think they go Marvin Harrison Jr. here.
I'm down with that, honestly. I don't see a need to take a quarterback here, and I'm absolutely down to take a wide receiver for them. The Patriots, the Commanders, and the Bears, I think all will take quarterbacks, honestly. I especially think the Commanders and Patriots will take quarterbacks. I can see an argument for the Bears not taking a quarterback here, and I would like to see them not take a quarterback. I think they will. But number 4, I think receiver, Marvin Harrison Jr. That makes so much sense for me.
Yeah. But I think, and then going to pick number 5, they also need a wide receiver. They lost Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. And, I mean, their number 1 pick last year, or first-round pick last year, was Quentin Johnston out of TCU. So they need a bunch of pass catchers.
Yes.
But I think the bettors are going with JJ McCarthy because Harbaugh is now the coach of the Chargers. I don't see that.
The Athletic was saying that they were saying that this was essentially the bettors predicting a trade. They don't think the Athletic was saying, I don't see a world where they keep this pick and take JJ McCarthy, because what's the one thing the Chargers definitely don't need? Quarterback. Justin Herbert he's a good quarterback. I get the people saying like, yeah, he hasn't won anything, but like, whatever. He's a good quarterback. Look at him.
This might be our first offensive lineman off the board.
Alt could be.
Might go here at tackle.
It could. He could go here, or they take Malik Neighbors, or they take they could take Brock Bowers. I don't think Brock Bowers would go this high. Maybe they trade back and try and take him, but he's a good pass catcher.
I'm hearing at pick 6, moving on to the next pick for the New York Giants, they're talking about Brock Bowers.
Really?
Now the Giants, they have Daniel Jones. They signed Drew Lock. They got rid of Saquon Barkley. Do they need another wide receiver? Brock Bowers could literally line up anywhere and be a threat.
Yeah.
I don't know what the Giants do. The Giants, I don't think they trade back. They could also use offensive linemen. I think they could go offensive linemen here. I think they go defense. I think they go defense first. Probably see the first defensive guy go off the board. I've also seen a couple people now say that they don't think there's going to be a defensive player go in the top 10, which hasn't happened in a long time.
That's what the bettors have. Well, other than one, they do it. The bettors are saying that one guy will get taken in the top 10.
Okay.
Latu. The bettors think that the Atlanta Falcons will take.
I could see that.
Latu.
UCLA, D-end. I really like him. Moving on to pick 7. This is going to be an interesting one for me. Tennessee Titans. If an offensive lineman is on the board still, they will take one here. They have to.
Yes. Titans have to take an offensive lineman. If it's not Alt, they got to take the next guy. I don't see how they don't take an offensive lineman.
Yeah, they have to.
They got it.
Okay, Josiah, your team, Atlanta Falcons, got the 8th pick. Where are they going? They signed Kirk Cousins.
Running back, please. Can I have a running back? Can I get a first-round running back when we already have a running back? Can we do that? I would really like to see that happen. Ooh, wait. We did that once. Let's do it twice in a row. Why not? Freaking idiots, dude. Why do you think we have the 8th pick after having the 7th pick last year? Morons took a running back at pick 7 when we already had 1,000-yard rusher running back and literally needed a million other positions. And we said, oh, I know what we'll take. Running back. I don't know if they were going best available in their minds or something. It's got to be the dumbest crap I've ever seen. Anyways, freaking, I don't know, man. Just whatever you do, don't take a running back, please. If you take a running back, I'm going to forcefully depose the leadership of the Atlanta Falcons.
They should not touch a running back this draft. Don't even touch one.
Not touch a running back or a wide receiver. I won't say don't touch a wide receiver, but first round, you better not pick a wide receiver. We got receivers. We don't need it.
So many.
Go defense. Absolutely have to go defense.
Defense.
Honestly, Latu, I think it's a good pick. What's the guy's name? Hold on. I'm forgetting the players' names, but Byron Murphy.
Oh, yes. Tennessee.
Yeah.
Texas.
Dallas Turner from Alabama. Any of those edge rushers, I'd like to see a good edge rusher in this spot. Take whichever one that the professionals think is the best. They're scouts for a reason, so take whichever one they like best.
Running back,
then again,
y'all.
those same scouts took Bijan Robinson, so take whichever one they think is the worst. That's what you should do.
Oh my gosh. They definitely go defense here. They definitely go defense.
That they took Bijan Robinson.
Let's say everything goes chalk up to pick 9, no trades, nothing.
Yeah.
What are the Chicago Bears doing?
And they took Caleb Williams at 1.
Yes.
And Joe Alt is gone.
Yes.
Well, cry.
Honestly, yeah, for me, that's worst case scenario. If I'm running that program, that franchise, that's worst case scenario. And that's exactly what's going to happen.
It is. It's exactly what's going to happen. I mean, look, at this point, you either take a good defensive player, you take. I could see the argument for taking Brock Bowers, or taking offensive tackle. You have to take a lineman here, realistically. JC Latham, I think, or Latham, he's the next one supposed to be off the board. And I think he's probably the best one left after Alt. Take him. You got to take him. You got to need an offensive lineman, especially if you took Caleb Williams. It doesn't mean you're just grasping for straws now. Please, anybody, somebody, protect this guy. He's going to die. Nothing's going to happen that's positive, because that's what happened with our last quarterback. And now he's gone because we're stupid and we're taking another one.
Let me tell you what they think they need. I looked at their team needs. They're going wide receiver, which no. I mean, they have Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. They could take another wide receiver. So I quickly threw it. So we just have one wide receiver off the board, right? Marvin Harrison.
Okay.
So, they're going to have to decide where they, value on wide receivers. Right. You got Roma Dunze. I like him. Brian Thomas, your boy, Ladd McConkey, Mitchell from Texas, Troy Franklin, Keon Coleman, who I really like, Roman Wilson, and Xavier Leggett, Xavier Worthy, Malachi Corley, Jalen Polk. By the way, I mean, this is a loaded wide receiver draft. Do not take a wide receiver. If I'm the Bears, I do not take a wide receiver. I can get one later.
Yes.
So I'm going to go defensive line or offensive line, depending on how I like or who's available and who I like. I'm just thinking like who's going to be available and value. Byron Murphy's probably going to be available here. Let's take him.
Yeah. Defense or lineman. I don't think there's another option.
Yeah, I think I also like Latu out of UCLA, Jared Verse out of Florida State. I like both of those guys. Those are first-round draft picks. So grab one of those guys. I think D-line is the way to go for the Bears. All right, let's finish this thing up, Josiah. Pick number 10 to the Jets. You have Aaron Rodgers, who has not been healthy, but he's coming back. They brought in Tyron Smith at left tackle. They brought in right tackle, Morgan Moses. They brought in guard, John Simpson. They could draft another offensive lineman if they want. They brought in guys, though, because you and I both know, and we talked about it last year, the Jets needed to be drafting offensive linemen, but no one ever listens to us. Where do they go? I've also heard this is where Brock Bowers goes.
Yes. I mean, look, that's tempting, right? Brock Bowers, Garrett Wilson standing next to each other. That's a pretty scary offensive team.
Yep.
On the other hand, honestly, go linemen, please, people. Look at what happened. 70 freaking seconds into, or 7 seconds, 7 seconds into your season, you lost your starting quarterback. Why? Because your lineman didn't block.
Fashawn,
take another lineman.
Tackle. Yeah. Please.
Take another lineman. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you don't think he's the best one available. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you don't think he's the best player available. Take him, because there's no guarantee the other linemen are going to work out. We know that because your season lasted 7 seconds. And please, 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 just take a lineman, figure out your best 5 linemen out of the 7 trillion you bring in, because that's what you should be doing, and play those 5 guys. Like, take as many linemen as you possibly can. If you're the Jets, take every lineman you can, and the guy that gets out there with the best work ethic and the best, second round, pick a good wide receiver if you think you need one, but you don't, so don't do that. Take linemen. Take a lineman in the first, take a lineman in the second, take a lineman in the third. You can do whatever you want in the fourth, and then 5th, 6th, 7th linemen. All linemen, and don't do anything else. Best lineman you get, play those guys. They need linemen. I'm beating a dead horse at this point, but
I agree.
It drives me crazy.
Yeah, same. And look, I know the offensive linemen don't sell tickets. They don't sell jerseys. I mean, some do, like Jason Kelsey or Logan Mankins and things like that.
Market them.
Yeah, you have to.
Get some. Yeah, tell these guys, all right, look, we're going to turn you all into Jason Kelsey's. We're going to make big online media personalities for you, and we're going to make money off you guys. Is that all right? They'll be like, yes, that's all right, because we'll make money too.
I think that they need to take an offensive lineman, one that can help out right away and push guys to get better. I am going to jump outside the top 10 really quick, Josiah. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time, but I got to talk about my Raiders. And
oh yeah,
I got a lot of, their number one. A lot of people asking me, are they going to take a quarterback? Number one thing, are they going to take a quarterback? I don't want the Raiders to take a quarterback. I think they're all going to be gone. Granted, J.J. McCarthy may still be on the board at this time. I don't mind if they take J.J. McCarthy, but if Brock Bowers is on the board at 13, please take Brock Bowers.
That would be amazing.
If there is another D lineman, like if Byron Murphy or Jared Verse are on the table, take another D lineman to take somebody away from Max Crosby. He needs help. So I think those are two things. Like if Brock Bowers is on there, please take him. Or I don't mind a stud D lineman. So that's where I would go if I'm the Raiders. What do you think about that?
Now, here's my question. What if Penix is still on the board? What if Penix is still on the board?
I don't think that Penix is going to get – I don't think Penix is going to get drafted. Okay, the talk around town, they make it sound like Penix is not going to get drafted in the first round.
Yeah, they do. However, and honestly, it wouldn't surprise me.
I think all this talk about J.J. McCarthy is just smoke, and somebody's going to grab Penix rather than J.J. McCarthy.
That wouldn't surprise me. That would also not surprise me.
Like nobody's talking about Penix, and there's a reason why. Because they think they have the best kept secret, and they want to keep it that way. So I would not be surprised if Penix. I think he's the number one quarterback in this class, obviously. So if he goes, I'm not going to be surprised. I will be more surprised if he doesn't go at all. If the Raiders are up at 13 and Penix is still on the board, yes, 100% take Penix. I would. So, okay. Other than that, is there any other team, Josiah, that you would want to see or you want to talk about, you want to cover?
I'm not going to say who I want them to take, but I love watching the Ravens. Love Lamar Jackson, and I've got a family that love the Ravens. So I would say I'm a Ravens fan. But I'm excited to see who they take, because the Ravens are a good team, and if they take someone that actually makes their team better, honestly, lineman again probably is their best option. Then yeah, I'm excited for that. Shout out Ravens. But yeah.
Yeah,
basically, if you're questioning it, lineman is the answer.
Right. All right, and last but not least, before we get out of here, because it's been a long one, we are big fans of Yeovil Town FC in the English soccer leagues. Really have tried hard to get into MLS, Major League Soccer in the United States. Can't. I can't.
It's rough.
So we do our Yeovil Town update once a week. Well, we started this just in time, Josiah, because the season's over with. Like last week was the end of the season, and Yeovil won the National League South title last week. They won it.
Go.
And if you know anything about English soccer, you know that's promotion relegation, how all sports leagues should be. They are now being promoted to the National League. So they are in the National League South. They are now going to the National League, which is one step below Football League 2, which is considered professional soccer in England.
Yes. Which is where we became fans of Yeovil. They were in EFL League 2 at the time.
Correct.
Then they dropped.
And then dropped again. And then sold ownership like twice. And they finally figured it out and had a great season this year. I'm pumped for them. Got to get them back in FIFA. You're not in FIFA until you're in League 2, professional soccer.
Yeah.
Because I want to use them. But
and I haven't. By the way, nobody in our entire family has bought a FIFA game since Yeovil Town has been out of FIFA. And when
that's a lie.
Will. Oh, really?
I bought one.
You bought one. Well, no one else.
Terrible. It was terrible.
It's not worth it at all.
Nope, I don't even play it. I play FIFA 19.
Yep.
With Yeovil. I use Yeovil.
If Yeovil's not in it, it's not worth playing.
The one thing I will bring up about Yeovil for our English soccer fans is that it came out that the FA Cup is going to get rid of replays. So if you don't know what this is, it's a in-season tournament. Kind of, the NBA is trying to copy some of the things that they're doing. But like all the teams from England get to participate in this. So it would be like if the NBA and the G League and college basketball teams all competed in one massive tournament. But in the FA Cup, if you tie, they have a replay. Okay? And that replay means you don't go to overtime, you don't go to penalty shootouts, you schedule for a date in advance to play again, a full game. And so the FA Cup has said, we're going to do away with that. And now these smaller teams like Yeovil are saying, hey, whoa. No, that was an opportunity for us to make money. It was a way of, charging ticket sales, things like that. So now these smaller teams are going to be losing money. So what they did, they sent a club statement, and a lot of these clubs are sending statements to, I don't know who it is, the FA Cup board or whoever, for getting rid of them. They want to bring them back. Look, I'm all for Yeovil Town making money, and I'm all for more sports being played. FA Cup, bring back the replays. What are you doing? Don't they make more money too? television revenue? That doesn't make sense.
I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. And yeah, it sucks. It's a travesty. And I think they shouldn't take them away. I think protecting the smaller clubs should be a focus. And yeah, I hope they don't get rid of them. But it's not looking good.
All righty. That's going to do it for today. We'll be back next week. Long one today. Thank you, and thank you.
It's our first one back.
Yep. Make sure follow on X. Follow along and let us know. Comment down below anything that you said anything that we said that you think is controversial. Let us know. That's the best. We don't want to be vanilla here. We don't want to be vanilla. We got to be a little bit controversial. And like we talked, we're actually not being controversial, just being honest. That's it. Yeah. That's the difference. It's not hot takes, mainstream media, hot take clickbait stuff like we talked about. No, just honesty and realistic. All right. Thank you guys very much. Have a great day. Jesus loves you. We will talk to you guys later.
Peace.